Hello, BNC League owners, and I'm back yet again for another wondrous quarterly update. This time, it's Q2, baby, Q2. 8 weeks have been completed through the season. We got our 4-week completion quarterly update. Now we're at another quarterly update. So let's get started with week 5. I'm going to give you the recaps. Marcel got it going. Yet again, prop guy to the right. Got it going in Q1 with a nice win. Over guess who? Myself. It was a nice matchup, game of the week, but he beat me. Rob started his magnificent Q2 with a wondrous win over guess who? Little Jay. His little brother taught him a lesson, put the Rodriguez name in place. Todd Gurley came back for the rook, and he tandemed him up with Le'Veon Bell. What a tandem. I mean, it was amazing. But guess what? He lost to Coach of the Year, Mr. Kim, Mr. New York. Mikey flexed again, as always, as the high scorer. Why? I say as always, I'll keep showing sooner rather than later. I'm Antonio Brown, and I'm not number 1 anymore.
I'm Drew Brees, and I still got it.
I'm Eddie Lacy. I eat more than I score touchdowns.
I'm Le'Veon Bell, and I play better when I play with Chris.
Now let's move on to week 6. Just like I said Mikey was the highest scorer in week 5, he comes into week 6 and faces Kevin. And a devastating loss by .29, which started to percolate the confidence of Mr. Kim himself. Right to the top because guess who was coming back? Desi fucking Bryant. So, squeaks by. But then the Rook flexed his tandem of Gurley and Bell, but loses to who else but Dave, one of our former champions. The loss was heartfelt, but the Rook was not done. He was going to bring confidence back. Rob continued his newfound dominance and kept on churning for 2-0 at week 6. Guess what? Just like Rob kept winning, Jay kept losing. And Marcel became the high scorer in week 6 to earn the money.
I'm Tom Brady, and I converted Rob into a Pats fan.
I'm Brandon Marshall, and I was kidnapped from Kevin.
I'm ODB, and I was the best player on Jay's team.
I'm Jamal Charles, and I'm made of glass.
Ow, my leg!
Then we begin with week 7. And just like week 5, Mikey comes out and became the highest scorer to get another victory in Q2 and earn himself another $25. Rob and Kev continue dominance as we go along Q2 with another victory to go 3-0 within Q2. These guys have just been dominating. On the other hand, Jay kept losing. So, Jay, sorry. You're going to have this thing going on in Q2. But one of our big matchups of the week, first one being Adrian and myself. We had a nice, fun-loving matchup up in Sun Life Stadium as Adrian gets taken down by the commish, but we hug it out as the Dolphins pummel the Houston Texans here in Miami. But now, the bigger game. The Rook takes on Marcel and finally goes with his 2 boys and flexes another big win. Well, flexes his first big win and takes down Marcel for the first time with Bell and Gurley. What a win! Oh my God! There he goes. Down goes Marcel. Down goes Marcel.
I'm Adrian Peterson, and this is what a year off will do to you.
I'm Jordan Matthews, and I've been kidnapped.
I'm Ben Roethlisberger, and Carlos is still reaching for me.
What a better way to start with Kev and Rob, our heroes of Q2, going 4-0, taking their confidence all the way up to sky-high limits. That's unbelievable, because I didn't have these guys predicted to do that. But all of a sudden, they found something in their teams to do what they had to do. So we continue on with the Rook's heated matchup with the commish, myself. Coming off a big win against Marcel, the league leader, we get into a matchup against the commish, and he beats me, takes me down as Bell goes down. He can just keep winning, found a way, so now the Rook is up there with that sky-high confidence of Kev, but also that evil dockside confidence of Rob. Now, the theme has been that Jay the Kid was going to be losing all along, and after going 0-3, Jay the Kid pulls out some kind of confidential win because no one knew it was going to happen and takes down Marcel, who's battered and beat up 2 weeks in a row with an interception by Luck to end the game. What an exciting Monday night. Now that is our Monday night madness of the year so far. It goes to Jay the Kid. And now we end Q2. Rob and Kev going 4-0. Jay the Kid going with an upset. Marcel going 2-2. Dave going 2-2. Me going 2-2. Mikey getting 2 high scores of the season. Adrian coming back down from the world he was living in cloud 9. What a quarter. We go into week 9 with a swing week. The rubber matches. Everyone's tied up. Everyone's in a bottle. Just fucking waiting to blow up. It's week 9, baby. Welcome to the end of your Q2 and the beginning of the rest of the season. Woo! Commissions out, motherfuckers! Yeah!
Hello, BNC League owners.
And as promised, your Q2 update will always have some analytics based on the BNC scorecard. Again, the Balanced Numerical Criteria scorecard. I've created a set of data points which you all know, and I'm not going to go into the elaborate explanation that I went into in the last video. If not, we're going to end up with another 20-minute video. But I updated the numbers, just a quick update, how we're doing now. Things have changed, and I'll kind of describe. As you recall, the percent difference of points for to points against this year, we were at 1.8% throughout the entire league. I said, we have to come back to 0. It's the law of averages. And guess what's happened? We've dropped 1.1% exactly. And now we are at a 0.7% away from 0. Tangible number. It just shows what we said. As we got into interdivision play, the team started to play actual bad teams from another division, and then obviously some big matchups happened. I mean, Jonathan beating Marcel, that was an anomaly. Kevin actually having the record he has, that's an anomaly, considering he has no running backs. But we look at this number and we kind of get to it. One thing that I want to point out is Adrian. Adrian was at a 38% points for to points against percent differential. Now he's at 13. He's actually fallen 25% when it comes to that. He's facing better matchups. We look at Marcel, not much of a skew. He was at 16%, now he's at 10. Marcel just continues to show that he has a dominant team. Other aspects can keep going here and there, and I can show other things. If you want to read it off to you, Marcel's at a 10% difference from 0.4 points against in favor, 6% for Mikey, 5% for Danny in favor, so you can't keep bitching about the points against him because he's picked it up playing the other division. I'm at a -1 against myself. So the other division has played up against me. So -7 for Dave, -13 for John. So John's played bad against his division. 13 for Adrian, he's come down. So he's playing bad against the other division, the famous Blitzkrieg. Kevin's at a even. So he's done well against the Blitzkrieg division. So good job, Kev. You're the UN representative. Dan Marino, 5%. He's also done well, but he was doing better at 13% against his own people. So of course he's come down. We got 3% for Rob. Rob is the one that's picked it up big time. Rob went out there and represented his division well. So Rob and Kev, you guys are the steering committee over there. Carlos and Jay, horrible. Like -11, -19. I mean, the only one worse than you guys is John. So that's why you're all three at 2 and 6. Clearly we can see there. So we counted up the cards. Red, you don't get a score. I mean, you get the red score, obviously the green. And we come up with new things. So when we predicted the Q1 playoff predictions, it was Marcel, it was Danny, it was myself, it was Dave, it was Adrian, it was the Rook, and it was Carlos. Well, Carlos off the list. So we look at what we got graded on. There was some guys, everything was at 5 and 2. So right now, the ones that have picked up a little bit have been Marcel. He scored 5 greens to 2 reds. Danny scored 5 greens to 2 reds. So they're shoo-ins to the playoff is what I call it. The only one that's outside of that is Kev. He's 3 greens to 4 reds. So his team's not performing well when I spread out all the data and the data points that I've been looking at. Maybe I need to go a little bit further in depth. Or maybe Kev is right. He is that coach of the year. So I count those 3 immediately in the playoffs. Then we've got the 4 and 3 guys. We've got Mikey at 4 and 3. We've got myself at 4 and 3. So 4 greens to 3 reds. Adrian, Dan, and oh wait, Rob, you were 5 and 2. So you're in it as well. So we got those guys. So when I look at Adrian, Dan's team, and we look at those 4, so we got 4 guys, like I said. We've got Marcel, we've got Danny at 5 and 2, and then we got Rob. I call those shoo-ins to the playoffs. Then you get Mikey at 4 and 3, and you also get Adrian, myself, Brooke, all that. So we got to find 2 other guys that can make the playoffs, or 3 other guys that can make the playoffs. So Mikey, you look in good shape, all right? So you weren't predicted to be in the playoffs. Now I predicted, Mikey, you should be in there. Dave falls off the list because his team's playing bad, but he's promising us a Q3 pickup in this game, a little bit more paying attention, a little bit more
emphasis on his team. Dan and Adrian, you both have 4 greens and 3 reds, but I gotta count you out. Why? Because you've had some devastating injury. I mean, Le'Veon Bell to your team, the Rook, it's just awful. I mean, you really have to try to survive the Blitzkrieg division and then face your guys and do well. Adrian, Steve Smith, Jamal Charles, I mean, really bad. So, I'm taking you guys out of the playoffs and including myself at the 4-3 scorecard, which is the close rubber one, including Mikey, and that's about it. That should be the guys that make it. So, my playoff predictions. Here we go. Marcel, Mikey, Danny, myself, Kev, because of the record and the coaching, and then Rob. That's your Q2 playoff prediction. This is the numerical stuff. For you guys that like it, want to look at it, want to understand how I calculate this data, just ask me. I'll email it to you. You can create any flaws, say, hey, Chris, we need some more stuff, but it's all tracked. I'll send you Q1, Q2. That's a new playoff prediction again. Dave is out of my playoff prediction. The Rook is out of my playoff prediction. And so is Adrian. So far only 3 from my Q1 carry over. Everyone else, we're new to it. So, keep going. I'll keep tabulating these numbers and we'll see what happens. But, happy Q3, motherfuckers, starting with week 10. And what an exciting season. What an exciting fucking season. Oh, starting with week 9. My bad. Starting with week 9. But what an exciting season, I tell you. After week 13, I'll see how my numbers actually pan out with who made the playoffs. So you guys can make fun of me for what I did or not. Maybe it works for next season. But either way, I like it. I'm going to keep doing it. I love the numbers. See you in the playoffs, motherfuckers! Peace out.